Hi guys, welcome back to my tutorial video. Today I'll be talking about different types of character setup. Okay, so I'll show you by using just a cylinder. Okay, and I will create cylinder and show you the difference of character setup. Okay, so first of all, we go to top view and we create a cylinder. Zoom all. Change the radius to 30, the height to 150, and size to 18. Yeah. So what we need to do now, I'm going to copy this. I'll show you in bigger view. Yeah. So I'll copy this. As in 3 objects. The first one that I'm going to show you, because most of the students like to animate their object by using poses or keyframes. Okay, so the first animation, I will just use keyframes. Yeah, so turn on auto key. Let's say we drag this. Drag here. So you see now it's automatic keyframe because you already turn on your auto key. Whenever you're on your auto key, this thing or this bar will turn to red color. Make sure if you don't want to auto key, you have to off this. Yeah. So if you want it, then only you on. So perhaps in the middle of here, you want to bring this up. So like that. So in between that, you want this to rotate like that. This is the position. Okay, and here maybe it will be rotated like this. Okay. And rotate back. So you have one bouncing cylinder. Yeah. Okay. So that is using keyframes. Number 2. Okay, now we go to the object number 2, cylinder number 2. Okay, for this one, I'm going to use bend tool. Okay, so off your keyframe first. Make sure there's nothing red color there. Select your object. Apply bend, B-E-N-D, bend tool. So bend tool works like you can change the angle. You can see that. And you can have different types of direction. Okay, I can show you this in perspective view. Here, if direction is like that, and we choose different direction, it will go like that. Okay. Or as for today, I just want to make this character or this object jump. Yeah. So x-axis is like this, y is like that, and z it goes forward. Yeah. So if you want this to go backward, meaning that you have to go negative value. So we put 0 first. Yeah. Now I go back to the view just now, which is the front view. The second object. Yeah. Okay, now let's say turn on your auto key. So you go to frame 60. So we will be moving this to here. Okay, similar poses. In between, I will still make this object going up. Okay, but in between that, I will do the bend. Oh, sorry. Pretty much similar, yeah. So in bend, basically, it allows you to make this more flexible. In a way, it can bend your object. So perhaps maybe here, you want this to go like that. Okay, some of the principles, what we call as follow through. Or perhaps before this guy jump, here there will be anticipation of this direction. Yeah. So normal, and then start to jump up and falls follow through. Okay. So it allows us to add the principles of animation. Okay, so that is bend. The other method that we can do or we can apply would be I will off auto key. Yeah? So for the third one, I will be using FFD. So if you choose FFD2, I will show you in perspective. Yeah. So FFD2 times 2, you only have 4 types or 4 points. If you choose FFD 3 times 3, you will have this more points. FFD 4 by 4 means that you will be have another more options of the points. Okay, so it allows you to make your object more flexible in terms of changing the shapes. Yeah. So this time of period, I will use 4 by 4, so I will delete the rest. Okay, so I'll be focusing on this front view. So turn on my auto key. Still the same keyframes. I will bring this to here. Okay, so in between that, it will go up. So like that. So in between here, my FFD control points. See, you have control points there. So it allows you to make a changes of maybe this one should be rotated like that. Okay, but you have to manually adjust that, yeah. And here, this will go the other way around. There is more points that we can adjust, but then there will be pretty much more things that you need to do as well. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so here, there you go. So here, perhaps there will be some of anticipation also. Okay, before he jumps. There you go. Here it will fall straight. And go back to the position. Okay, so let's check it out. Number 3. Okay, so eventually it's also have some of the bit of stretch and squash there. Okay, and last one, I want to use the method that most of the animators are using, okay, which is using bone. Right, so for bones, you need to go create and system and bones. So bones work from the bottom because it's like the hierarchy. Okay, example, I will explain more on the bone first. So when you select the bone from the bottom, so this is how it looks like. So the one at the bottom is the parent, and the higher is the upper hierarchy, which is the child. So you see the one at the bottom will controlling everything. That's why we didn't start from top, yeah. So when we create the bone, normally we'll from the bottom, because if let's say you create from top, okay, when you want to move this, okay, so the upper part will just stick, so we cannot move it like that. Okay, so this will be deleted. So this should be in your object. Make sure it's inside your object. You can check on top view, in the center. You can check on your left view as well, your front view, and your perspective view. Okay, there you are. So now we are going to make sure that this bone and the skin is attached. So select the object, modify, and look for skin. Okay, so once you have the skin, just go down. You see the word here, bones and add. Now select all the bones that you have here. I have 3 bones. Select all and click select. So when this is selected, so meaning to say here, you can test that. You select the bottom bone and move. If the whole thing is moving at the same time, so meaning this is correct, so it's attached. Okay, but don't ever click on the skin. Okay, because now since you already have the bone, you have to move the skin with the bone. Okay, so in order for you to move the skin, you have to select the bone instead. Okay, the only thing that a lot of people don't really like to do bone is because of they need to do the paint weight. But this is crucial, especially for animation. Okay, when you want to move this, for example, I give you, when I move this, okay, you can see this is a bit stretched and this somehow goes inside. You might not see this clearly, but when you go to your default shading, okay, I'll show you in perspective view. So part of your lines here is distorted, you see. So this is not a good thing, yeah. So it's like goes inside. Same goes when it goes this way, right? So in order for us to fix this, this is where I said you need to do a paint weight. Okay, so I'll go back to my wireframe just now. Okay, so you can see this overlap of lines and points here. Okay, so in order to do a paint weight, you select the skin back, click envelope, go down, and look for paint weight. Okay, so turn on your default shading so that you can see. Probably I will do this in my front view, perspective view. So now you can see this. I will paint this. Okay, so normally when people are bending their body, the muscle will go in. Okay, so something like that. So you have to fix that. So this will take some time because in order for us to make sure that this object is following what we want, we have to like really paint it properly, yeah, so that it somehow doesn't change the size when we are trying to animate this. Okay, and then you also need to select different bone in order for us to make sure that at the bottom as well is affected, yeah, else it will just look rigid, yeah. So after you're done with the paint, then only your animation or the movement of your character will be better. Okay, sometimes most of you are quite lazy to do this. Okay, you don't want to spend your time, but bear in mind, if this is not fixed, meaning to say you're facing problem in the future, especially when you want to do the animation and then keyframes, principles, and so on. Okay, so fix. Okay, but you have to see also not so much. Alright, probably this should be enough. So you can off that, and then we go back to our wireframe just now so that we can see the bone. So now when I'm selecting the bone up here, when I move to the other side, so both works better, okay, compared to just now. So the limb and the bones is more flexible now, yeah. Okay, so now I will go to straight back to the position, main position. Then I'm going to keyframe this by selecting the bottom. Okay, turn on my auto key so that it will be positioned there, and then on frame 60 I will bring this to the end here, so you see that, and in between also I will bring this up so that it will go up. Jumping position. Okay, and then in between that I will move the bone. The upper bone, so it will be positioned as trying to move forward. And then here it will be up, like stretch. And somewhere around this frame this will be keyframe like this. Okay, so now I will add anticipation similar to the rest as well before you start to jump. So you will see that jump and fall. So before he falls, he goes straight back like that and straight back like that. Okay, so now let's see between all this setup, which one is you feel somehow works for your animation. Okay, I'll zoom some more and replay this. Okay, you cannot see the last one. Hold on, yeah. Okay. Okay, so all four is actually doing the same actions. It's just that every single of them are using different types of setup. So what I would like to say here, when you are doing your setup, it doesn't matter what kind of setup. There's never right or wrong. You are the one who choose what type of setup that you want to do and what is the best setup for your character or your object or your animation. Okay, so decide yourself, think about it, right? Try and error. You can try all of the steps, and actually there's plenty more of techniques out there you can use. Okay, so that's all for now. Okay, I'll see you again in next tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for the next tutorial.